What's up, everybody? Welcome to our 27th van build episode on how to install our window frame.
Alright, so in terms of what you need, you could probably use any type of wood if you really wanted to, but we used 1/6 poplar strips along the actual window. And then for the window frame, we use a mix of 3/4 inch birch and a 1/4 inch 1x3 or 0.5x3 maybe poplar that you get in Home Depot right next to where you get like poplar strips. And that's for the outside of the van or the outside of the window frame to make it pop and stand out.
We also used a hand sander with 220 and 150 grit sandpaper, white paint obviously, a miter saw, wood fillers in between because we did cut it at a 45-degree angle and then we wanted to not be able to see that gap, so we used the wood filler there. And to put all of this in place, we used a nail gun.
Yep, we were going to do screws and then we realized there's not enough space to get our drill through there, so a nail gun was just a lot easier. And with the wood glue, it will be fine when we go through.
Yeah, and wood glue.
So now I'm showing you how we built our windowsills. So right here, this is just poplar furring strips, which is a 1x6, 1x6, 1x6. And we have a 1x3 here. And Taylor just has the other cut out pieces that were cut specifically for the windowsill. And I think there's two ways you could really do it. One would be the way we're doing it, where we're going to be blocking the screws here. I know it's hard to see because I can't get it to focus. I'm going to try this side. So if you can see the screw right there. So we're going to be having the piece of wood over the screws. Otherwise, you can do it and put the wood along the actual window. So I think you can go either way. But we are going over the screws and putting this together like so. So now I'm just putting the wood glue down because we're going to have a screw on the two corners of the piece here, so it's hidden by the right and left side of the windowsill, and the wood glue is just going to ensure that it stays flat and doesn't bevel up over time.
Alright.
And we gave up on the screws because it's too tight, so now we are just nailing it down.
So for our windows, I knew that we wanted to cover the screws on the side because I wanted it to be mostly covered so that you couldn't really tell that it was like a backdoor window. So at first we put the plywood or the birch wood on the sides, and we were planning on just doing that and then covering it with the shiplap. However, what we didn't realize is because we made it just big enough to fit inside the window frame was that you could see the shiplap on the sides. And we didn't like the way that looked. So that's why we ended up adding the extra pieces of poplar and kind of created this frame around the window just because we wanted to hide that spot where the shiplap and the birch was visible from the side.
And I could show you what that would look like really quick. So you could see here's the 3/4 inch birch, and we lined it up with the furring strips and made that a smooth flush edge. But what we didn't realize is that we have shiplap that actually sticks out another 5/8 of an inch. So we should have hung this over 5/8 of an inch if we wanted to. But in reality, I think it worked out for the best because if we use this as our frame, you still see a couple screws. So if we jump over here to where it's going to be sunny, so hard to see, but this is the 1/4 inch ply, and it covers all of the screws, so nothing is exposed, and it gives it a nice clean look. Alright, so we're doing the window sills here, and we have this little 1/4-inch poplar strips that we cut down, sanded, and painted. One thing that stinks about when we paint it here is that it kind of bevels and warps. So we're going to take the nail gun and nail everything down in place and probably put some type of pressure to keep it pressed down so it's not going to bevel. Taylor's got the wood glue right now that will stick there, and then we'll nail it in. Okay, so we are getting the 1/4-inch pieces of poplar that we cut on an angle here for the frame of the window, and now we're just lining it up. We're going to apply glue and nail it into place. Alright, so sorry we didn't capture it, but this is what it looks like with the finished product. Now Taylor's just putting wood filler on the nailed holes, and then we'll be sanding that down, painting it, and probably putting in a bead of caulk along this to seal these cracks up and get it looking nice. Alright guys, so that wraps up this van build episode on installing the window frame. If you have any questions on how we did it, drop a comment below and we'll be sure to answer them.
And if you like this episode and want to follow along with the rest of our van build, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below.
Thanks so much for watching, and we really appreciate the support. Thank you so much.
See you next time.